Hi, people. So, I know I told you. Okay, first of all, this is Lou. How do you do? Hopefully, better than me. No, I'm doing pretty good. It's just that my head, for some reason, has been way confused today. And I should say that better. It's just there's a lot going on in my head. And I was trying to avoid having to change my driver's license and all my stuff. My primary residence is in Colorado. And while I was staying at my sister's house, I bought a car from them and registered it there in Washington. And my driver's license is good for several more years, and I just hate messing with that. But oh no, I'm going to have to frickin' go and get a Pennsylvania driver's license because my tags are expired after tomorrow. So, I'm going to have to go through this big rigmarole, which leads me to a statement. When are they going to get a national driver's license instead of us having to have one? I mean, when you're older and you're traveling from this place to that place to another place, they won't let me license it, renew my tags on the phone or online either, I don't think, without having everything match up. Well, nothing matches. So I'm left to go get a new driver's license, and I just don't want to. But I can't even register my car until I get a driver's license. I'm going to have to get a hold of my insurance people and change my insurance from Colorado to Pennsylvania. So I really didn't plan on staying here. And so I just really hate to have to do all that stuff. I mean, the one thing that comes to my mind is sell the damn car. But I like my car. And I went through a lot to have that car, and I don't want to let go of it. But I don't want to change my driver's license either. I mean, it's a big rigmarole having to have a damn car. Yeah, I'm saying the word damn like it's a real bad word. If you have a problem with that word, then you got a problem with a lot of things. Beavers make a dam. They dam up water. Anyway, okay, so I'll try to quit ranting and raving. Just my head's been spinning about that because I was really just wanting to pay the fees, get my tags so I could just put the tags on my car and then head on down the road when I'm ready. But no, I'm going to have to go through all this crap. Unless I could figure out something better, I'm not really wanting to stick around as far as the cost of living. The cost of living is ridiculously high. And really, I need to go get a job, which takes a car. But anyway, they should have a national, especially for older people. You don't want to have to stick around into one place. You want to be able to cruise, right? So anyway, I will get off of that. One of you people out there wants me to show you the pressure foot. I think is what it was. It's like the gas pedal is what I'm thinking it is that you want, but it just seems kind of weird. But I will get it and show you. As far as pressure feet go, I don't think that's what you said. But anyway, right there is a pressure foot. And I can tell you what, I have a hard time threading that needle. So when that thread comes out, I don't like it. Here is a pedal. It's like the gas pedal. I don't think that's really what you meant, but it seemed like it, okay? This thing here. It's got a cord, and then it plugs into the back of the machine like you would have earphones or something in the old days. But anyway, that is how it's powered. I'm going to put it down on the ground. But as far as showing you how it's used, I mean, you just press on the foot and it makes everything else move. It makes this stuff move. I want that to go up so I can get the thread back there. But really, I'm not set up. I don't have someone taking a video so I can have them point it in the right direction. And basically, I've been cruising along just talking to people. And I decided I would talk while I do. Share some of the ideas that's going on in my head. Well, I'm getting my head all messed up because there's too many ideas in there. But I have to figure it out. I just watched the video. We'll talk about quilting. I just watched a video yesterday that just made things so simple. Oh my. And it sounded like really all you need is 2 pieces of material, and you don't have to cut out squares and then sew them back together. I've been thinking that same thing, but how cool. So what they did was they took flannel, and they have a top color and a bottom color, and then they do a rag quilt, okay? And what they do with this rag quilt, she folded it in half and made a seam. And she made inch seams. I think I would make 3/4 of an inch. I don't think I'd go clear to an inch. But anyway, what she did was an inch. So she took the middle and sewed down it. And then she took what she sewed and cut it in half. Snipped it. Still 1 piece of material, basically, because she just sewed it together. It's in my history. I know that I don't do it justice, but you did not have to cut up squares. You had 2 pieces of material, and she said you could use 3, and then you make those seams. So right down, smack down the middle where it's folded to begin with, you sew a strip. She did an inch. And then I almost think she might have done 2 stitches, like a 1/4 inch apart, and then that way when you're cutting, when you're snipping all the places for it to fray, if by some chance you snip through one, you won't snip through both. But you don't want to snip through their thread, is what they're saying. And it's hard to get my words to formulate so you can see what I'm talking about. They have it in front of them. So you folded your material. It's already folded in half. Just put both of them together. Lay them out, iron them, make sure they're together. I don't even know that she ironed them. And she was not persnickety whatsoever about her measurements. She just, right there where it was folded, that's where she made her first seam. And then she took, after that, that's in the middle, right? So you're going to have half of that width of material. She folded it again. From the middle to the outer edge, she folded that in half and made a seam. And snipped it. In other words, cut it. And then did the same on the other side. So she had 3. Seems like that's all she did. She had 3 seams. Anyway, it's hard to remember everything. I just thought, wow. Because here I am, I'm cutting squares, trying to figure out this and that and the other thing, how to make the sandwiches, and that meaning, and when you're doing a rag quilt, you don't need to use batting in the middle. I saw where one person did do that. But just really cool. 2 pieces or 3 pieces of flannel. Really, you get a lot of lint with flannel, but it is really soft. But by the time she was done, I mean, that girl, I ain't going to be able to do that. She sold that quilt up in an hour. It took her longer. She had to, I mean, that was the sewing part. And then she had to snip around everything and then wash it and dry it. But it turned out really nice, soft and fluffy, with just 2 layers, just 2 pieces of material. So you would choose a color for the back and for the front, and then you're going to be exposing the back material with the front. I'm just upset about my car. But everything's cool. I just need to calm myself down. I will go to this. I already called and talked to him, so I can't go to that place. Before I can even register my car, I have to go get a driver's license here. And also I'm going to have to get my insurance changed to here. It's just a matter of calling, talking to the right people, finding the phone number to call, and having them switch it. And what I did was I'd already paid. I paid for a full 6 months at a time. Saves all those fees that they charge you every month. And also remembering, not being late, and all that stuff, you know. So anyway, I guess I'm about to make a big change, and I just really wasn't wanting to do that. My driver's license is good for at least 3 more years, because it was good for 5 years. So that car was a blessing. That car has been a pain. What I thought was a blessing, maybe it's still a blessing. I just have to get over these hurdles. I do have the title, and I do have my birth certificate, my social security card. Thank God for that. And thank Joe. He sent it to me. So in order to go get my driver's license, I got to have all this stuff. And before I can register the car, I got to have the driver's license. So hopefully everything will be cool. So if I have to drive about 30 minutes to get to where it is. They're not right in the neighborhood. There's one, I mean, the place for me to tag my car is not even a half a mile away. But I got to go a long ways to get the driver's license. So, just rant and rave a little bit. That's me. You know, I rant and rave. No, my head really was. And I am kind of disappointed about my quilt squares and stuff. But I have to get over that. I went to town. I cut up a bunch. I cut up a bunch of stuff, and some of it I'm just not liking. I already gave it away. Did I make I did. I made a different one. Okay. I'm not liking the, this one. Okay. Maybe that's cool for a coaster. I don't know. But I was going to use that in my quilting squares. And I'm just not necessarily liking it. So, you have to like what you're doing. Yes, I saw mug rugs and they caught my fancy. I really liked them. And, you know, they've been around for years. I just never saw them until this year, until recently. And really, I just need to go get a job. That's what I need to do. I mean, I think that's the better way to make money. So if I get my car licensed and insured correctly, I mean, it's insured correctly, but not once I change. I have to change everything in order to register my car here. I have to have all the other stuff. So then I go and move again, and I'll have to go through it again. I just don't think that's right. A lot of things that are not right. But anyway, I will calm down. I mean, I just thought I would be able to get my tags renewed and I'd be okay. But no, that's not how that goes. They just have to make things hard. And I don't know. I don't know what the fee is for getting my license. But they said I would be offered a 2-year instead of a 4-year for less money. But they didn't say how much the money was, you know. I just think I mean, it would have to be a big difference in order to just do that. But I still think that somehow I'm a traveling man, you know what I mean. I gotta take these off. No, I don't know who did that song. What comes to my head is Ricky Nelson, but I don't know why I would think that, unless it's for reals. I guess I'm going to have an adventure tomorrow. I'm going to go to a place called Dublin. So I'll have to gather up all my stuff tonight, and then I have to figure out my, get the insurance changed over. Then they'll send me an email. That's what they did before. So I should be able to show proof of insurance. And then I have to have proof of residence. So I just need to gather up my little stuff and put it in a file folder and do the GPS thing and go find my way. I guess I'll be happy once it's done, right? I hope. So, I really like the rag quilts because you don't have to worry about batting and backing. It's all put together. And really can be pretty. I just don't know what sizes are. You know, she just used 44 inches is how wide it is. That's not very wide when you want to have most throws are about 50, right? 50 by 60, something like that. So it seems like 40 is not wide enough. So I don't know how that would work. Come up with these questions after it's said and done. I have to go back and find it, and I don't want to watch it again. I watched it. I got the idea. She is Johnny on the spot, and I think a few other people are doing it like that too. So much better. So much better than having to cut out squares and then piece them squares back together. And with your backing and your batting, I mean, all of that encased. So now I've got all these 6 by 6 squares. And I started out doing 6.5 inch squares. So I'm having to cut some of that off. But still, it'd be nice. And part of me I just remember those old, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have old bedspreads that were quilted in patchwork squares. Okay, just a bunch of different random, like maybe you had all velveteen, you know, nice soft velvety stuff, but all kinds of different designs. Now I've got 2 materials that have a design. And I've got some beautiful solid that goes with it. Looks like velvet, but it's not. But I'm thinking the flannel is the way to go. It will make it so much easier. So I just have to find something So I've got all these squares cut up now. I'm just, but it'll still be pretty. And then I cut up that extra batting like I told you guys about. So I went in there this morning and cut up. What I did was 2 of the pieces of batting, and I brought it in here. 2 of the pieces of batting that went all the way across, I squared it up and made 7 inches by 12 inches. And I figured I would maybe do a mug rug on that. My first mug rugs I did, too little. I didn't like them, and I have to remember I can still use them because I will put material around them. But I cut, like I said, 7 by 12, which I think will make a nice mug rug. And what you do is you quilt as you go. You get little pieces of material and join them together all the way across, and then it's quilted. And so far it is better. I just don't know that it's really better, but if I put the backing on, in other words, cut the material bigger by 1 inch all the way around for this batting, and have that be the back, and then I have to put the batting right smack in the middle, pin that where it belongs so it doesn't move, and then when you go to be quilting as you go, then you're quilting through the backing also, which means by the time you're done, the whole thing is done itself for the binding. So that inch that's all the way around that's bigger, you fold that in and then fold it in again and sew it around, and you've got binding. So I'm talking myself into making those. But tomorrow is going to be Adventure Day. Adventure Day. And I'm just really not looking forward to that. Right now, if I just went back to my property, I'd be all set. All I got to do is take my title in and get it switched into my Colorado stuff. That's really what I should do, but that's so far away. And then the other thing, I didn't even think to ask, you know, a lot of places you can get a travel permit. I wonder if I could get a travel permit without going through all this crap. No. So people, I showed the pedal, but I didn't show it working. But that means I have to put material in, and then I have to, when I push that pedal, it's going to go, and it'll go fast or slow. And this machine, if you're not careful, will go really fast. Which that might be really good. But really, I need to take time and just go through that owner's manual, because this, I think this is like a quilting. It says runway, so that's like fashion. But all these different stitches and stuff, I don't know. Things to learn, things to do. A lot of things to do by tomorrow. It's maddening. But I just gotta not let it bother me. Just calm down. Mellow out. Settle down, Lou. I think that's what my dad would say. Settle down, settle down. So I do get excited. And then my voice goes up. My heart rate might go up too. Anyway. Take good care, people. I'm going to end. I'm going to just not worry about my camera crew since I don't have one. I did get to actually show my machine, but I'm borrowing someone else's stuff. That thing I showed you guys the other day. It's just a thing that you can put your phone on. And if I was using this thing called a Ring, but I don't have it where it can see me either. But you know what? I could put it back down. I could see the machine and not me. It's a thought. Anyway, you guys take care. Tomorrow is Halloween, I believe. So everybody, trick or treat. Happy Halloween. Be careful out there. Yeah, I was going to say it. I'll say it anyway. I love you guys. I don't know how to do a wicked laugh. Anyway, you guys, be a hippie. Spread the love. Flowers. Flower power, okay? Bye.